Greetings, Holy Redeemer family. I wanted to give everybody an update on our first quarter financial situation, which is very, very encouraging, but also outline for you what we have to do the rest of the year to meet our budget and to think longer term. So thank you very much to everybody who has either begun giving, consistently given, or increased their giving in 2025. We as a church saw a significant increase in giving over the first quarter from regular, everyday attenders of Holy Redeemer, and that is in line with our expectations, but it's also something that not all churches of our size are experiencing in the United States. In fact, many churches in the United States our size are struggling to keep people, much less increase giving. So I appreciate it. You may see reports that giving overall is up, but a lot of times that is a much larger church seeing a bigger increase in giving. So we are at the top of our class when it comes to churches of our size being able to increase giving. Over the last 2 years, in fact, we've seen a run rate of about 5% per year in increased giving through the first quarter of 2025. So that is very, very encouraging. Our budget did go up in 2025 significantly, and I'll outline why. But the important thing to know is that we will need more money from people who regularly attend Holy Redeemer if we're going to meet our obligations. So why did our expenses go up? Well, the first reason our expenses went up was because of the decision to boost compensation. For many years, Father Ken has been working at the same pay rate, even as expenses went up, and he served longer and longer. Organizations who appreciate people the way that we appreciate Father Ken typically will show that in the type of compensation that they give the pastor. And it was high time that we did that. So we budgeted an increase to help him meet the rising cost of everything, and also to show our appreciation of more than 10% for 2025, which still keeps him very modest in terms of the compensation situation, but does show our appreciation and understanding of the world that we live in. Secondly, we've decided to bring on paid staff. Most notably, Ann Ellert has been working with Christiana hand in hand on administration for quite a long time. We've wanted Christiana to be able to focus on her other work and pursuits, including education, and give her the freedom to do that. And we've also wanted to show Ann that we appreciate her and to make sure she can dedicate time to the needs of Holy Redeemer, so we've begun paying her. We've also begun paying people who have been volunteering in the past with no ask for compensation, such as cleaning the church. So those things are why our money needs are going up in 2025. But that's not it. Also, we need to make steady improvements to the church, whether it's things like aesthetics, but more importantly, things like the toilets. Those things cost money, and while we get people often to donate their time, we don't expect them to donate materials. So we've had to do that as well. Finally, we are contributing members of the Charismatic Episcopal Church. That is a global body. We get the benefits of being part of that community, the oversight, the administration, and that is also something that we've had to increase in order to meet our obligations to that, to the CEC. We've had to increase outflows for that. So what does this mean for the people that attend Holy Redeemer? I know people most of all want specificity. Number one is we will not meet our budgetary goals on the current trajectory. Our first quarter was highly supported by outside givers who do not attend and do not give regularly. So in order to see the same situation in the first quarter, which was basically our revenue matched our expenses, we all need to consider whether we can give more or begin to give in the first place. On average, if you attend Holy Redeemer as an adult, the on average giving for every person is $150 a month. In order to meet 2025 obligations, we need to boost that to about $200 a month for every single adult. In order to meet our long-term obligations, I would encourage us to think about $250 per adult. That would be something that we could begin thinking about the long-term needs of the church and not just paying our bills. What are those long-term needs? Well, one is improvements in the building because right now we are not actively pursuing a new facility. We've looked at some churches. We're open to looking at churches, but we know that our current building is sufficient so that we can focus on, like I said, increasing the compensation for staffing versus spending money on a building. We'll take the building situation as it comes, but our current building does need some repair. For instance, we'd love to, in the next couple months, put in a handicap access ramp that is going to cost money. So in order to do those things, we're going to need to think longer term. We'd also like to add staff. And I know it sounds like we've added staff, but really we haven't. We've just, taken a little bit better care of the positions that we have. But we do need to think about a part-time children's and family pastor. And we also need somebody in the nursery to help out on a weekly basis. That part-time family pastor is a high priority for us right now, and we'd like to install that person in the future. So I do believe that these objectives are in line with the values and the priorities of our individual members. If it's not, go ahead and shoot me an email. Let me know if there are things we should be thinking about but aren't, or there are certain obligations that you'd like to take care of. Feel free to get a hold of me. If you just want a rundown of how much we're spending on different things, do get a hold of me for that. You'll get a more of an in-depth document this week that outlines our first quarter, as it's been our commitment to you. But I did want to give a video message, most of all, expressing appreciation, and secondly, being very specific about what our needs are for 2025. I know a lot of you are giving more, and some of you aren't giving at all, and that's where you're at. Much appreciated. Not everybody can give right now. Not everybody can give the $250 that I outlined, or $200, or $150. Those are only there to give clarity to people who are saying, "Hey, what could I give to help meet the needs of the church?" Okay. Look forward to another update in a couple months. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Enjoy your week and enjoy this beautiful weather.